Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the wild world of speed. Not the concept, the guy. IShowSpeed, gamer, screamer, fun chaos generator, and apparently track star? Or he thinks he is, because at some point in this man's legendary livestream career, he decided he wasn't just here to bark on Fortnite or set off fireworks indoors. No, he wanted to run, and not just run, race, with real people, on real tracks, in real time. Spoiler alert. It was hilarious, painful, and low-key iconic. This is the full, chaotic saga of IShowSpeed's race with Hall, the speed that wasn't speeding, the trash talk that turned into turf tumbling, and the live streams that nearly broke the internet. Some say Ashton Hall trained with Olympians. Some say he moves like the wind. Others? They just know him as the guy who got dusted on livestream 4 times. This is the tragic, hilarious, and low-key cinematic downfall of a man whose confidence was Olympic gold, but whose legs were more JV tryouts. This is the saga of Ashton Hall, a man who started a race to prove a point and ended up running away from his own reputation. Before we start, let's first introduce our competitors. On one side, we have Speed, the only man who can bark, sprint, and accidentally set off fireworks all in one live stream. A national treasure in Wi-Fi form. Speed isn't just his name. It's the velocity at which he leaves logic behind and enters pure chaos. If energy were a currency, IShowSpeed would have already bought the moon and barked at it. The first streamer to run a 40-yard dash, scream in 6 languages, and flirt with a cartoon character in under 5 minutes. His Wi-Fi signal is unstable, but his commitment to madness, unshakable. Speed is what happens when Red Bull drinks you. An unstoppable hurricane in Air Force Ones. And on the other side, we have Hall. The only man who took 4 full minutes to enter a pool like it was a life decision, Ashton Hall turns swimming into suspense. He doesn't dive into water, he negotiates with it. Ashton Hall, the slowest cannonball in human history. Every time he sees ice, his face dives in like it's a ritual. Ashton Hall doesn't cool off, he baptizes himself in drama. Hall doesn't swim, he contemplates. He doesn't race, he reflects. A philosopher trapped in an athlete's body. Allegedly. The man treats pools like boss levels, and ice like therapy. Ashton Hall's gameplay settings are set to cinematic mode. Where others see a pool, he sees an origin story. Where others see a cold bucket, he sees a redemption arc. Ashton Hall, the Shakespeare of hesitation. The only man brave enough to lose 4 times in a row and still ask for a rematch. Ashton Hall's confidence is built different. He may not have the speed, but Ashton's ability to gaslight himself into thinking he won, Olympic level. A track star in spirit, if not in reality, Ashton runs on vibes, excuses, and a dangerously high belief in himself. The only racer to turn every L into a livestream legend, Ashton Hall doesn't lose, he just builds lore. He may not outrun Kai, but Ashton definitely sprinted straight into meme history. Ashton Hall, proof that sometimes it's not about how fast you run, but how confidently you explain why you didn't. So it all kicks off with a confident, swaggering, built like he does cardio for fun. Speed looks his opponent straight in the face and says, "You ducking. You acting like Chicken Hall, bro." Let's pause. Chicken Hall. Not just calling him a chicken, branding him as one. That's psychological warfare. The man is now poultry in Speed's world. And Speed doesn't stop. He keeps the verbal punches coming. Speed said, "You better hope this ain't your last Instagram video." That's not a challenge. That's a threat with an expiration date. By now, Speed's in full monologue mode. This isn't smack talk. It's a spoken word roast battle with cardio implications. You slow, bro. You're not fast. You're a fraud. Bro dropped a haiku of humiliation. The camera pans to the other guy, who's trying to keep cool but internally Googling how to stretch ego before sprint. Speed is flexing. Literally. He starts warming up like a villain in a sports anime. I don't even need to warm up. That's not confidence. That's premeditated ego murder. The race that ruined a reputation. A livestream meltdown. You ever witness a moment so awkward, so uncomfortably hilarious, that it sticks in your brain like a bad haircut? Well, welcome to the race. Not a race for money or glory or even bragging rights. No, this was a race for respect. And somebody left empty-handed, out of breath, and possibly out of Instagram followers. This wasn't just 2 guys running. It was 2 fragile egos in Nike X suits, colliding at full speed on a live stream. And what began as a fun race turned into a digital demolition of someone's entire reputation. Total demolition, destruction, and annihilation. Let's break down how this live stream went from who's faster to, bro, delete your account. The race starts. Speed takes off like he's racing for custody of his reputation. The other guy? More like he's looking for a charger at the airport. By the time Speed hits the finish line, dude's still mid-jog, digging the floor to look for a missing tooth. Speed turns around, barely winded, and drops.
You are a fraud. I didn't even go full speed.
Bro hit him with the insult sprint combo. That's illegal in some states. The loser gasps.
Slipped.
Speed said,
You slipped on what? The truth?
and the audience? Cackling. YouTube's on fire. Instagram comments? Ruthless. Like any man caught in public defeat, he turns to his best defense, the excuse Olympics. Words like, the ground uneven. I wasn't warmed up. My shorts too tight. My soul wasn't ready. The sun wasn't bright enough, came out of his mouth. At this point, he's not even denying the loss. He's building a lore around it. Speed? Just laughing. Jogging in circles. Stretching ironically. Mocking every excuse like,
Yo, somebody call his Uber. He not coming back from this.
They line up again. The loser's got that I need redemption energy. His fans in the comments still believe in him. Barely. Second race starts. Speed takes off like he's auditioning for Fast and Furious live stream edition. Other guy? He stumbles and looks at the ground like it personally betrayed him. Now it's getting brutal. The stream is exploding. TikToks are already forming. YouTube threads titled Why He Ain't Stretch hit 30K likes in minutes. Speed's followers start calling him Usain Shade, proud, track god, the humble humiliator. Meanwhile, the other guy's fans are in shambles. He had potential. It was the wind, I swear. Bro was fasting. Our hero, no wait, let's not call him that. Our guy begs for one more race. He's sweating, desperate, possibly dehydrated. Best out of 5, he mumbles. Everyone watching knows how this ends. But he's clinging to hope like it's the last donut at brunch. Race starts. He trips again in his mind. Bro, at this point, it's not racing, it's public therapy. Speed doesn't even run full speed. He walks across the finish line, yells, somebody clip this, post that. Speed doesn't just win, he jogs across the finish line despite the fact that Hall took off before him. Wow. Bro turned into a meme in real time. And in that moment, the internet did what it does best. It immortalized the L. The man almost went from, I'm the fastest, to fasting from social media. People check his bio. Gone? Black screen. He's entered digital witness protection. Meanwhile, Speed's followers are still posting slow-mo replays, frame-by-frame breakdowns, and remixing his losses into TikTok audios, like, I slipped on the truth, ooh no. So what did we learn here? Talk trash carefully, especially if the other guy looks like he's raced wind before. Don't challenge sprinters if you ain't got sprint in your soul. And finally, never live stream your downfall. Because the internet never ever forgets. And also, be careful, not everyone deserves a second chance. Speed didn't just win the race. He won the war, the crowd, the memes, and the entire narrative. Meanwhile, our unnamed runner is now a cautionary tale whispered across DMs. Remember that dude who got cooked on Instagram Live? Yep, him. This wasn't just a race. This was reputation manslaughter, and the livestream was the murder weapon. The guy lost 4-0. It's just hilarious. And to the man who ran, tripped, slipped, and dipped, wherever you are, we hope you found your speed, your self-esteem, and a new pair of shoes. The fact that he lost and didn't accept honorably is just funny. Instead of accepting defeat, he didn't. So what does our guy do? Like any proud man in denial, he calls for a rematch. And another. And another. He says something about slipping, grass, wind resistance. Bro, at one point I think he blamed the pavement. But Speed? Speed just keeps winning. He's running these races like it's practice. The other guy is running like he left his keys somewhere and isn't sure where. Every time he loses, he spins around and hits the camera with new excuses like, rest in peace, to his pride.